the Demola Project. Today, we are here to present the first implementation in a Catalan university of the entrepreneurship project Demola, created in Finland and successfully implemented in several countries in Europe. The Universities and Research Office of the Catalonia government and Pompeu Fabra University have selected TecnoCampus University Center, affiliate to Pompeu Fabra University, to execute the pilot test during the next year. Located in Mataró, city in the metropolitan area of Barcelona, TecnoCampus is the combination of a university with more than 3,000 students and a technology park with 120 companies. Now, I would like to introduce the General Manager of TecnoCampus, Mr. Josep Lluís Checa, who will explain the main goals of the pilot test of Demola Project.
Thank you. Okay, thank you. I would like to welcome you all and introduce all the members of the panel this afternoon, including the ones who will be participating remotely. First of all, I would like to say welcome to our Major, Mr. David Bote, who is still just arriving as the Mayor of the city of Mataró and also the President of TecnoCampus Foundation. Also, I would like to introduce Francesc Xavier Grau, Secretary of Universities and Research of the Government of Catalonia, Mrs. Mercè Chacón, General Manager of University Planning and Research, Mr. Ville Kairamu, General Manager of Demola, who is accompanying us from Finland. Also, Mr. Vicente Ortún, Emeritus Professor of the Department of Economics and Business of the University Pompeu Fabra. And finally, to Montserrat Vilalta, Director of University Services and Projects of the TecnoCampus Foundation. It is my privilege to be able to open this session as the General Manager of the institution, TecnoCampus. Our thanks and recognition to the Secretariat of Universities and Research for considering us that we could be a winning actor in this initiative. We are part of the university system here in Catalonia, having a modest profile, but also having the greatest desire to impact society. It's been weeks of joy and hard work with Mrs. Mercè Chacón and Mrs. Montse Davant and her team in the deployment of a proposal for a project with a comprehensive and integrative vision, systemic, oriented to specific results, understanding that this was our responsibility and our commission. Today, we present a program based on a proven methodology and how, hand in hand with UPF, Universitat Pompeu Fabra, and all our own organization, we are going to deploy it efficiently. The aim of this program is to be able to impact our student and business community, willing to transform somehow future processes and business decisions based on our work and competencies. You can expect our maximum commitment to the results. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Checa. And now, Mr. Vicente Ortún from Pompeu Fabra University will explain what the pilot test of Demola Project represents for Pompeu Fabra University.
Well, good afternoon. UPF is a 30 years old public university, research-intensive university with financing for teaching coming mainly from the Catalan authorities and financing for research coming mainly from European competitive goals, such as Horizon 2020 and those of the European Research Council. Highly internationalized, professors from all over the world, also from Finland, especially in health, life sciences, and business. Most of our graduates have studied abroad. More than half of the 3,000 master and PhD students, graduate students, are international. In some PhD program, more than 90%. 3,000 graduate students out of a total of 13,000 students. We have agreements with 28 of the top 50 universities in the world. And we are a member of Utopia, EUTOPIA, an European network, together with Warwick in the United Kingdom, Ljubljana in Slovenia, Gothenburg in Sweden, Cergy-Pontoise, north of Paris, and Freie Universität in Brussels. During my time as a Dean of Economics and Business faculty at UPF, we were awarded the Certificate for Quality in Internationalization by 14 European accreditation bodies. That was in year 2014. We were the first in Spain and one of the first in Europe. We feel, as UPF, the same than Rosalía de Castro. Rosalía de Castro is a Galician poet, a writer. Galician is one of the 4 languages that is spoken in Spain, that said, "Ánimo, compañeiros, toda terra é dos homes. Aquel que non veu nunca máis que a propia, a ignorancia o consome. Ánimo. A quen se muda, Dios o ayuda." In English, "Courage, fellows. All the land is of men. He who has seen but his own is consumed by ignorance. Courage. God helps he who changes." TecnoCampus, as its Director General has already said, contains 3 schools attached to UPF: engineering, health, and business, whose activity is closely intertwined with more than 100, I have learned 120 innovative companies. As UPF rectors delegate at the 3 TecnoCampus schools, first, I am grateful with the Secretary of Universities and Research, Professor Grau, for asking us to develop the pilot test of the Demola co-creation project in Catalonia. Second, fully committed to the cooperation between UPF and TecnoCampus, since I am pretty sure that we will continue learning from each other. UPF, as a leading research university, let's say MIT inspired, TecnoCampus as a leading school of applied sciences, a vocational university that grants professional degrees, with a research very oriented towards innovation and knowledge transfer. We both, UPF and TecnoCampus, whose president, by the way, as the president of Germany, is a scientist, share standards, control, and quality assurance systems, believe in taking advantage of our complementarities in a university system that will become in the future more specialized, that is now. I'm pretty sure that this pilot program will prove successful.
Now it's time to connect with Finland to listen Mr. Bill Kairamo, General Manager of the Demola Project. He will explain the main goals of the project and how it can support companies and students to create new products and services.
Good afternoon, all. Dear Secretary, colleagues from the government, UPF, TecnoCampus, dear guests. Unfortunately, I can't be today in Catalonia due to the COVID challenges, but that will take place during the spring 2021. And of course, I'm honored to be here as part of starting this pilot today, connecting digitally online, as that is, of course, kind of something that happens today and creates enormous opportunities. When we started the first talks about this cooperation and launching the initiative here in Catalonia, it was 1 year ago. And during that times, we didn't know what we were going to see and what was in front of us. And of course, during this year, during a very difficult year, COVID pandemic has been challenging our societies and especially the international cooperation. But at the same time, it has been creating significant new opportunities by digitally connecting people together to find new avenues how to make the world and the Europe a better, more sustainable and more connected society. We in Demola Global, we build teams of university students, next generation leaders and experts, future creators, and combine them with experts from companies, public organizations, and research to jointly explore global drivers, new trends, megatrends, game-changing innovations, and to create a context for our companies, our public organizations, and help them to build future-proof strategies. During the last 10 years, we've been working with over 1,500 enterprises and public organizations around the world, and facilitating over 5,000 teams of this next generation talents from Japan, China, South Africa, Mexico, Brazil, and and Arctic Circle, and everything in between, combining the people from different backgrounds, different cultures, different societies together to utilize all the diversity and all the possible know-how and knowledge what we can. What we have noticed that to find clarity on what happens in the future, we need to look quite far. We need to look beyond our own comfort zones, our own regional bubbles. And of course, this journey has been guiding us to build international partnerships around the world and working with governments and universities and companies all around. Of course, previously this has been requiring a lot of flying, hanging at the airports, spending endless nights and days in aircrafts. And of course, this was not the most sustainable nor the best way to bring people together worldwide. Now this online transition, what has been forced by the COVID transition, there are a lot of challenges, but at the same time, if we take the courage to think and challenge the old habits and old working practices, we may find new ways how to improve and how to bring the most motivated people around the world together to build a better future. By many estimates, what we've been hearing during the last months, only just within the next 5 years, 75% of all knowledge work around the world will be globally distributed. Not because it would be cheaper, but because that's the way how to engage the most motivated and the best talent and bring the best minds together. If I'm having a look on how the behavior of the people and how the behavior of organizations, for example, in the US, here in Finland, Nordic countries, and Japan are changing, I think it's starting to be relatively easy to believe in these quite radical predictions in what will happen in the future. In this first phase of this new initiative in Catalonia, we will select a small number of Catalonian companies to participate in a world-class future projects. And we will build global teams of students and graduates from Catalonian universities and via the global networks and bringing global perspectives together with the Catalonian perspective to help our companies and help and build the new horizons for the talents themselves. Company selection will be done and the team building and facilitation will be done together with our dear partners, UPF and TecnoCampus in Catalonia. The process itself lasts for 2.5 months, the actual co-creation process. And with this opportunity, I invite you all to follow the process and follow the projects in the spring season and to meet all our companies and all our talents during the like extraordinary journey what all of them are facing. Our process is a combination of agile development, design thinking, strategic foresight, and systems thinking, bringing together some world-class leading methods and a lot of practical know-how how to combine the people and how to take best out of their energy and their motivation for common good. The future, it's like a story, and the future is always to give some advanced clues and about the new twists and turns what we are going to see in the near future. And this is the reason why we believe in working with students, as they are unbrainwashed next generation leaders and experts, and they see the world in a different way. Sometimes there's a lot of idealism, and when having a look, how can we make the world a better place, that's only a positive opportunity and positive thing. In Europe, and having from the larger point of view, Europe is one of the largest investors in research and innovation around the world. But we definitely need to find the ways how to create more output and how to connect the people and companies and universities and research institutions, not only within the traditional 50-kilometer radius around your home base, but across the Europe. And I think this is something that like where Catalonia has been creating a significant impact already. And I think we share a lot of same like mindset when it comes to innovation and cooperation and research here in Finland and in Catalonia. And it's very easy to build and think this as a start, like a proper start, a quick start, but like it's only a start to a long-term and strategic cooperation. At the same time, we need to build the new talent generation and make them to believe in their opportunities in creating impact and building sustainable green growth and utilizing the digital opportunities. And I think this is exactly what we're going to do with our dear partners in Catalonia. Like I said, I invite you all to follow the process. We will be sharing a lot of stories with different social media, different articles, and also planning to organize multiple events in Catalonia and internationally to bring the stories and bring the results and findings to the wider society and to the wider audience. To the end, I want to warmly thank our dear colleagues at the government, at the UPF and TecnoCampus for very good cooperation. And with these remarks, I want to wish you all a relaxing and peaceful Christmas time. Thank you so much.
Before closing this event, let me introduce the Universities and Research Office of the Catalonian Government, Mr. Francesc Xavier Grau.
Good afternoon. Benvolgut alcalde, autoritats de la Universitat Pompeu Fabra i de TecnoCampus, senyores i senyors presents en aquest acte i que ens esteu seguint també a distància. Dear Ville, I will move to English very shortly, but let me start with some words in Catalan. Avui és un gran dia, és un dia que estem molt contents de que s'hagi pogut produir. És aquest any un any molt difícil per totes les coses que estan succeint. Això tots ho coneixem, les grans dificultats per donar certa normalitat als projectes que s'han de desenvolupar a unes circumstàncies que són complexes. Aquestes dificultats ben conegudes per tothom se n'hi sumen d'altres no tan conegudes, altres que són de caire intern d'unes administracions que costa molt de moure moltes vegades, però avui som aquí perquè totes aquestes dificultats han estat vençudes. Vull agrair particularment en aquest sentit la Direcció General de Planificació, la Directora General de Planificació, Mercè Chacón, i la responsable de Relacions Internacionals, Montse Davant, que han sapigut arribar fins aquí. Gràcies, perquè realment ha merescut força esforç i ha merescut la pena. Vull agrair a TecnoCampus i a la Universitat Pompeu Fabra per haver acceptat en poc temps de concebre i desenvolupar aquest projecte pilot que estem avui presentant, que suposa aquesta iniciativa, i l'entusiasme i bona disposició a aprofitar aquesta experiència pilot. Aquesta és una iniciativa que els que hi heu participat sabeu que està en el cor del que proposa el Pacte Nacional per la Societat del Coneixement, que vam aprovar recentment abans de l'estiu, el 9 de juny. Va aprovar primer al maig en un plenari, el plenari del pacte, i després com un acord de govern. I s'emmarca, per tant, en l'interès i el desig de que Catalunya progressi com a societat del coneixement, tant en els indicadors d'innovació i competitivitat com en el que significa el fons d'aquesta societat que basa la seva activitat en el coneixement. També és un projecte que podeu veure reflectit en el Pla de Reactivació Econòmica i Protecció Social que el govern va aprovar abans de l'estiu. En qualsevol oportunitat que han plantejat projectes com aquest han trobat la seva presència, forma part d'aquest pla que li hem dit Coreco, i com a tal també esperem que formi part de l'aplicació i ús dels fons de recursos d'aquests Next Generation EU que esperem que durant l'any 21 es puguin desenvolupar. Si és així, el projecte que avui presentem com un projecte pilot agafarà una altra dimensió, una altra escala, i el pilot justament ens ajudarà a poder-lo escalar en el futur. I will switch to English now. Dear Ville, thank you for your engagement in the project. Universities, research centers, and large infrastructures, as primary knowledge producers, are the fundamentals of our knowledge-based society. If we want a sustainable competitiveness, we have to commit on being a leader in innovation, in a knowledge-based innovation to nurture the entrepreneurial competitiveness. This strategy is the fundamentals of our 2024 strategy approved through the National Agreement for Knowledge Society I was talking just a minute ago. Catalonia has a strong and competitive research system and a committed public support, but we have to learn and to be able to mobilize private capital for R&D and for innovation. In the last decade, Catalonia has lost some positions in the regional innovation scoreboard. Roughly speaking, 20% of all regions in Europe have moved above Catalonia during a decade. We are still in the leading group in indicators related to knowledge and talent. But we need to move upwards in all the indicators related to innovation. This is the framework where this project is trying to work in. It's a good practice to know other experiences and to understand the best practices and successful initiatives of other places. And the agreement between Universitat Pompeu Fabra and TecnoCampus and Demola will be one of these experiences from which we will learn and scale up to all Catalonia to promote innovation from the very basis. I remember one seminal visit to Tampere some years ago. Tampere is, if I'm not wrong, is the birthplace of Demola. And the visit was related to know the governance of the region and how the region develops its own innovative policies on innovation. We visited many things, universities, main universities in Tampere, the mayor, the regional body, and one of the visits that struck me the most was the visit to Demola. And that's probably the origin of this, the project that we are trying to extend to Catalonia today. It's amazing to see how administration, the city of Tampere, the region of Tampere, all the universities of the Tampere region at that moment were 3 universities, and companies work together with the students in problems that are of interest to all of them. And during this process, students develop new ideas, but the more interesting part probably is that they develop themselves. The spirit of innovation is from the very beginning as an integral part of the academic career of those students. Why the government then launched this project, this pilot project program? To promote the open innovation culture linking universities and companies, to incorporate open innovation tools systematically, promoting a mindset change and better connecting the academia and the productive and economic sectors, as well as to create employment and foster innovative activities, especially to SMEs. To implement a hands-on program according to the government's higher education research and innovation strategy, to strengthen the connection between the knowledge creation and application systems, as well as to fostering the participation of young talent in the process. This pilot should test this methodology of co-creation, identify good practices, and lay the foundations for further development of the program through the Catalan university system. Why do we launch this initiative at TecnoCampus, an affiliated center of Pompeu Fabra University? This center is a very good laboratory for the project. It shows an optimal profile for launching the project, with a clear orientation towards internationalization, sustainability, networking, and dialogue with the productive world. It has a solid track record on innovation, co-creation, and entrepreneurship projects, thanks to a compact management of the university centers and the technology park, thus stimulating a synergy between the academia and the companies, linked to Pompeu Fabra University, an institution also oriented to internationalization and disruptive innovation. In summary, the Demola Catalonia program aims to promote a closer relationship between universities and companies, as well as other organizations, to improve the skills of the students. That's the more important part, the skills of the students. To contribute to smart specialization strategies through interaction between universities and companies. To promote the competitiveness of the industrial ecosystem of Catalonia by incorporating the talent trained in universities in their innovative processes. To create conditions for the creation of new companies, the startups established by the project themselves, and new jobs in the business sectors of Catalonia. To connect Catalonia with a network of innovative hubs following the strategy on innovation ecosystem promoted by the European Commission. To promote an open innovation framework in the higher education ecosystem, teaming up students and companies to discuss future challenges and find disruptive solutions. I would like to thank you all for your work and acceptation of the agreement, and for your current and future contribution to Catalan innovation and competitiveness. I really hope this pilot will be a successful experience and that it will be a strong driver for new projects and initiatives between public and private sector. It is important that private sector's trust in science and technology generated in the higher education system, and it is important that the private sector invest in the value of knowledge to answer to its current needs and those to arrive. Deciding our future, the future of our university system, the Catalan knowledge system of Catalonia as knowledge society is an important and necessary matter. And initiatives and collaboration like this represent a new stage to progress in the right direction. Thank you. Gràcies a tots per tota la feina que heu fet per arribar fins aquí i molta sort i encert en el desenvolupament d'aquest pilot. Gràcies.
To close this event, the Mayor of Mataró City and President of TecnoCampus Foundation, Mr. David Bote, will address a few words to us.
Good afternoon. After listening of you and knowing the background of the project, I must say I'm glad of taking part of it. Demola goals are perfectly aligned with TecnoCampus DNA. Our tech park was created with a strong vocation of orientation to cooperate with companies. Said vocation is so important that our slogan is where universities and companies go hand in hand. Our university is a real meeting point of the academy with the companies in the same shared campus, and its model is based on employability, entrepreneurship, and internationalization. Together with the city where TecnoCampus is located, Mataró, we have various programs that promote this relationship, even further beyond the traditional ones that other institutions have deployed in the past. From this point of view, we are grateful to the Secretariat of Universities and Research from the Catalan government, especially Xavier Grau, and to University Pompeu Fabra for entrusting that we are a leading actor to deploy this initiative in Catalonia. Of course, we are also grateful to receive Demola as one of the most reference companies in constructing strong methodologies to develop a real innovative and co-creative processes. We wish for the maximum success and the maximum value contributed to its participants, with a firm commitment to deliver positive results. Our aspiration is to integrate those methodologies as part of our valuable programs for companies and students alike. I would like to end this speech, these few words, with a personal history. At the university during my physics PhD, I learned how important is having a good method to solve a problem. Our city, Mataró, and the whole world is currently facing huge social, economic, and environmental challenges that we have to solve immediately. I trust that the Demola Project will help us to achieve these goals. Then, thank you very much for bestowing us with this opportunity. We will do our best to not let anyone down. I can only hope for every attendee to be doing well during these hard times in a global pandemic. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Mr. Bote, and thanks to all the people who have made possible this virtual event, in particular to Mataró Audiovisual Television for the technical support. Thanks for your attention, and we hope that you have a nice evening.